Hi guys, Vino here. So I thought I would do an OTGV throughout today. My hair is super fluffy today, so why not? Let's do an OTGV. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you're doing really well. I am doing far better than I was. I'm on a break right now from work, working from home. Today I'm far better than I was. Just to give you guys a bit of an update, if you haven't seen my latest video, I had a flu kind of thing over the weekend that just wiped me out. I'm not 100%, I'm still not 100%, but I'm far better than I was. So Friday, when I came home from work Friday, I popped to the shop at the end of my road, came back, wasn't feeling the best. So went up to bed just to watch a bit of YouTube. And then I just felt like I felt like death warmed up. That's the best way I can explain it. I had a pounding headache, body aching, and I just had no motivation to do anything. I was sleeping, but it was extremely restless sleep. It wasn't restorative at all, mainly because of the headache. But I had no motivation. Anytime I stood up, I just felt weak, dizzy, lethargic, nauseous. Whatever it may be, and I just couldn't be asked to do anything. I asked my housemate on Saturday if they can get me some cold and flu medicine, which they did, and then I took that late Saturday. Was it late Saturday afternoon or evening, whenever it was? Yeah, I took that late Saturday evening, whatever, afternoon, whatever. And then I think that's what started the on the onwards mend, so to speak, back to how I am now. I've bought another batch. I've bought another batch of cold and flu medicine that I'll probably show you a bit later what it looks like. But I am back, and it's so good to be back, because the really ironic thing is I had a few videos, I had a few things to say, to shoot, to talk about this weekend, and then just poof, I was completely taken out. Got to do some food shopping and something at some point, because that didn't get done this weekend. Probably got some laundry to do, chores that obviously didn't end up doing because I was literally bedbound. It was horrible. I have not, normally when I'm ill or sick or what have you, I can still do things. I can still be a human being, so to speak. I can go to the shop. I can still, but no, this was just, I was horizontal and didn't have the motivation to be vertical for any length of time whatsoever. Even sitting up was not really that much of a motivation to me. This can sound a bit weird, but one of my favourite feelings is once you just come off of a sickness or an illness of some description and you're back to feeling good, you feel like you're on cloud nine, and that's exactly how I feel. As I said, not 100% yet, but I feel like I'm cloud nine at the moment. I feel like I've just climbed Mount Everest and come out the other end, and I'm like, yeah, let's get on with things. I did take half day from work yesterday just to sort of rest up. We'll see how things go today in terms of that. I will probably be taking an extended lunch just to again, I don't want to push myself too hard. The last thing I want to do is to come off of a flu that, as I said, completely bedbound me, and then push myself too hard and put myself straight back into another situation where going to be in the same position again. We don't want to do that, do we? No. But yeah, the main thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, that actually I might save it till the next clip, but there's a high chance in the next clip I'll forget. But there's also, the next clip will be during my hour lunch. So maybe that's what we'll do on that one. I will talk about some interesting elements, things that have gone eBay related, that have gone on and we will go from there. Anyway, I think I've got to get back to work, get back on that that horse, so to speak, and I'll speak to you guys in about an hour's time, give or take, and we'll go from there, I think. Yeah. So hi guys, I'm back. I've just gotten back from the shop. I've picked up some more Heinz chicken soup. The Colt right now are doing, if you live in the UK by the way, and you're a member, you've got a membership card, they're doing 5 cans of Heinz soup for £5. So £1 a can. You can't go wrong with that. And I've picked up some ciabatta loaf, or bread, sorry, not loaf, to have. Oh, one's just fallen out conveniently. To have with that some buttered crusty rolls and soup. I'm going to turn that down a bit because that's going to bubble over and we don't want that to happen, to be honest. So the little bit of information that I was going to reveal earlier but thought I'd keep it for this part of the video is that I won something on eBay last week, and that is the Blur 21 box set. Now, some people who've been on my channel for quite some time will remember that the Blur 21 box set was quite a thing back in the day. So I ended up buying it, selling it, rebuying it, selling it, basically. Long story short, my housemate wasn't the biggest fan of that box set, shall we say, and they still might not be the biggest fan, but I'm a lot older now compared to what it was back then. That was many years ago, maybe over 10 plus years ago at this point in time. But what I was going to say, and they made some comments about it that made me sell it. I then basically managed to sell it to CEX for more money than I bought it for on eBay, basically. And then essentially as time has gone on, I've just watched that box set go up and up and up in price. So I actually lost another auction last week, and I lost an auction on the Gorillas Humans Super Deluxe box set that has the vinyl, like the 14 vinyls and everything. And I still want that box set, and I'm still going to get that box set at some point. Just, you know, I lost that particular auction. And that then basically eBay recommended me the Blur 21 box set, probably because of my purchase history on eBay, and because I was searching Gorillas. For those of you who don't know, Damon Albarn, who was the lead singer of Blur and one of the principal creators and principal principal songwriters for Blur, is also involved in Gorillas. He created the Gorillas. He's the main musical contributor of the Gorillas and the creator of Gorillas. So that's why obviously there's a connection between the two there. But yeah, I then noticed that there was one that I was looking at and was going to bid on, but the seller was a little bit terse with me, so I didn't go for that one. And there's another seller who I messaged who basically agreed to hold on to it to the end of the month for me. I've bid on it, I've won, and it's sat there waiting for me to pay for, so I'll pay for that in the month. And the reason why I've wanted this box set for quite some time is I've wanted to do, for a long time, I've wanted to do a Blur versus Oasis little video or series of videos, because back in the day, Blur and Oasis had a bit of a rivalry between the two of them because of the whole Britpop movement. The funny thing is, all that's called Britpop is actually British rock, like indie rock and what have you, because both Blur and Oasis are considered rock bands. Just going to pour my soup into the little soup cup, let that cool down. I'll butter up my bread in a moment. Butter up my bread. I'm going to take a seat in the front room for now. You can tell I'm back to being relatively, back to more than, I'd say I'm probably at 70% right now. you can tell I'm back to being over 50% because I'm making jokes and all that kind of stuff. And yep, the hair is. I don't know what the hair is doing right now. Let's just leave it messy. There we go. We'll have messy hair. Well, I've completely lost my train of thought on that one. So yeah, basically there was a rivalry between Oasis and Blur back in the 90s. And at one point there was quite a big rivalry between the number one hits of a particular year, like Country House by Blur and whatever single it was from Oasis were, going head to head. It was a thing for a while, and I just thought that I wanted to expand I don't listen to many British artists. Actually, that has changed recently because in the last few months I've got into a band called The Raven Age, which is a London-based heavy metal band in which George Harris, who's the son of Steve Harris of Iron Maiden, is a part of. But I actually don't listen to that many British artists. So I thought I would expand my sort of British music history a while ago and listen to like Oasis, Blur. I have listened to recently a bit of Take That, just to sort of get into the whole British music culture of the 90s and into 2000s, and that sort of stuff. So that's one of the main reasons I wanted to rebuy this collection of albums. I am well aware that Blur have released albums since the final album that was in the set. They've released Magic Whip, and there's another album they've released, I do believe, since then. Although I say Blur, it's with a bit of an air quotes around it, because it's actually Damon Albarn that's actually releasing a lot of the Blur material these days. There's not a lot of involvement from the rest of the Blur members. From what I understand, they did have a reunion tour, was it last year or the year before? Much like Oasis are having a reunion tour this year. Blur did have a reunion tour a few years ago and did perform on stage once again with Alex Jones, and I always forget the other members of Blur. I always remember Alex Jones and Damon Albarn, but I don't always forget the other two members of Blur, because I think it's a full piece. Anyway, Alex Jones owns his own farm now and actually had a series on Discovery, I think it was, back in the day, much like Clarkson's Farm on Amazon Prime or whatever, but it was basically Alex Jones on the Discovery Channel and his farm. So there's a series of British celebrities owning a farm, and then, the day-to-day runnings of a farm. I always find that really interesting whenever someone talks about Clarkson's Farm. I'm like, I remember back in the day on the Discovery Channel that Alex Jones of Blur did a little sort of, not really a documentary, is it? It's like a fly in the wall sort of vlog kind of thing where they take you, they take you through the day-to-day runnings of managing a farm. Anyway, so yeah, Blur did have a little bit of a reunion tour. But Damon Albarn has been releasing Blur content post Blur splitting up way back when. So I am aware there's a couple more albums to acquire for Blur. But obviously there's no direct Oasis albums to go up against those, because the idea behind this little Blur versus Oasis is I do, Blur's debut album versus Oasis's debut album, and then Blur's next album versus Oasis's next album, and so on and so forth. I have a strong feeling that Oasis might win out, to be honest, in my personal opinion, because Blur's a lot more, their earlier stuff is a lot more experimental, which makes sense because Damon Albarn is an extremely experimental individual. If you didn't know from the Gorillaz, it's an extremely experimental band, that one. And that leads me on to what I was eventually going to get onto, on a bit of a tangent there, is obviously I'm going to go ahead and also buy all of Gorillaz albums, and once I've done the whole Blur versus Oasis thing, I'm then going to pivot that into, or bounce off of that into a reviewing Gorillaz albums, because I just think that's a natural progression, to be honest, from that into the Gorillaz. I mean, obviously Damon Albarn wasn't heavily involved in that, so that just makes sense to me, to be honest, to do all that. Yeah, that's a bit of a round the houses way to explain that. Basically now I did lose an auction last night on a Gorillaz bulk set of like 4 of their albums. Demon Days, the debut album, Humans, and D-Sides. D-Sides is not technically one of their main albums, but I did lose out on that auction. However, I did win an auction last week on a deluxe version of Humans, which should be arriving today, actually. I'm kind of surprised that hasn't arrived yet. So that should be arriving today, hopefully. And I do need to acquire the rest of the Gorillaz albums. I do have a £6 CEX voucher on me, so I might go down to my local CEX and see if I can pick up any Gorillaz albums from there. The only thing about CEX is their CD section is a complete mess, and it's always a mission to find what you're looking for in there. But yeah, I'll probably end up going down maybe this weekend to CX and browsing their CD section. I'm sure I can find a couple of Gorillaz albums in there at very least, and their CDs are really cheap in CX, so that will help out with the Gorillaz CDs. And who knows, maybe I'll find the odd Blur CD in there. Maybe I'll find Magic Whip and whatever else. I know Damon Albarn has also released some solo content, some solo stuff as well. So yeah, maybe I'll look out for that as well. Anyway, I'm going to go and eat my soup and go from there. But have my lunch. Hi guys. So what did I literally get through saying to you guys in that last clip? I said to you, I think Gorillaz Humans will be here today. I think this is it. I'm going to try and open this with one hand. Probably a bad idea, this one. I'll be back. We need some trusty ingenuity. Oh, I didn't think that pierced the bubble wrap then, but it has actually pierced the bubble wrap. Oh, hey! And yep, that's exactly what it is. It is the deluxe edition of Humans by Gorillaz, which actually, I'm not going to lie, is becoming one of my favourite albums. Some of the songs on here are bangers, I'll tell you about it. Those who fear music are dangerous. Are there 2 CDs, I'm guessing? Seeing it's the deluxe edition. Yep, 1 disc there. I'm going to slip that back in again. I assume there's another disc. Hey, bingo. Another disc. Hiya! And of course you've got a booklet with the liner notes and everything. Come on, go back in. But yeah, that is the deluxe edition of Humans. They kind of made a big thing about this because there was a what's the word? Hiatus, if you will, of like 7 years between albums. And I do know that Damon Albarn and is it James Hewitt fell out for a number of years. James Hewitt is the principal artist for the Gorillaz and one of the main law writers or makers. There's a lot of law surrounding the Gorillaz. You can look it all up on YouTube And he's one of the principal sort of writers and creators of the law. And Damon Albarn and James Hewitt, whatever his name is. I'll have to look it up. I do apologise. I'll have to look up his name. Fell out, basically. And then this was 7 years in the making. So not in the making, so to speak, but they fell out and then came back with humans. So that's why this has so many super deluxe edition releases, because, yeah, there was a long hiatus for the Gorillas. Anyway, I'll be back later on. Hi guys, so it's a lot later now. It's currently almost 5 to 7 p.m. I did end up taking half day, not half day today. I left early. We'll say that. I left early today. Still not feeling as 100%. About to go for a bath. I've been having quite a few baths recently because they're good for the old muscles. If you're feeling a bit achy, all that kind of stuff. But I'm feeling so much better. I'm so happy to be back where I'm at. Earlier on, I mentioned that there's a couple of Blur albums that were released after they initially dismantled or separated, disbanded. That would be a good word to use. So Graham Coxon, who's the guitarist, actually left. Think Tank is the last album that's actually included in the Blur 21 box set. They've since released Magic Whip, and then they've also released the Ballad of Darren. Both of those are included in. Both those are not included in the box set that I'll be getting. But I do believe the Ballad of Darren is a bunch of demos and sort of B-sides that Damon Albarn has done. Albarn has done over the years. And I have heard that Magic Whip, again, there was nothing new from what I hear from the album. I could be wrong. I need to research into it. But Graham Coxon and Dave Rowntree are the two other members of Blur that I keep forgetting. Sorry about that. They're the other two members of Blur that I keep forgetting about. So yeah, there you go. I thought I'd include them in this little clip here, because I've literally just looked them up online while I remembered. Yeah, so I'm going to go for a nice bath and I'll be back a bit later. Hi guys, so it's the next day. It's currently about 3 p.m. on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Yeah, so it's a new day. I slept like a baby, but when I woke up, I really did not want to go get up out of bed. And I will say that my body just wants to sleep right now, which this normally happens when I'm sick like this, is at some point after being sick, my body just wants to sleep and recover, obviously, from the situation, from what happened, which is, perfectly understandable, so to speak. On that one, I am going to be doing a full day today. As you can see, still working from home today. I'm going to be doing a full day today. I do feel a lot better. I'm not coughing as much now. I'm still feeling really good. I'm just feeling very drained. Yesterday I felt quite energetic. I felt like, yeah, take on the world. Today I'm just feeling subdued. Just feeling, tired. Just that sort of stuff. I wish I'd waited to maybe take today off rather than yesterday off, but these things happen. I don't have enough hours to take today off, unfortunately. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But at least I'm feeling a lot better and I'm on the mend. I'm now making sure that I eat some solids because I've been eating a lot of soup over the last week. Almost a full week now. Yeah, it has almost been almost a full week. now since I came down with whatever it is I had. Yeah, just been eating soup, so I'm making sure I now eat some solids, get my body some actual chunky food, so to speak. And the next thing is to make sure I have my water intake, which is probably why I'm actually feeling just sort of dizzy and sort of out of it and a bit unenergetic, unmotivated. I think is because I'm probably quite dehydrated, to be honest. So probably up my water intake just to help out with that. In terms of things, I swear I said this in a previous clip, but I swear there's something else that I have in the back of my head that I wanted to specifically mention in this clip, but it's not coming to mind at this precise moment in time. Yeah, it's gone. Whatever it is, it's gone. It's gone. Poof. I swear there was something I was going to mention. No, it's gone. Can't be important. So yeah, that's how I'm doing as it stands at the moment. Having a lot of baths as well, as you saw last night in the previous clip. Having a lot of baths, just making sure that I take things easy and, look after myself, so to speak, after whatever happened. Hopefully going to be doing some gaming tonight, because I've been doing a lot of gaming over the last week or so since coming downward again, whatever this was. Looking forward to Payday. It's Payday next week, and obviously I'll be paying for that Blur 21 box set, and I'll be picking up some of the Gorillaz albums, although I'm going down to CX this weekend and seeing what they have, and maybe using some of that £6 voucher to pick up some albums from there. I'm sure they've got a couple of Gorillaz albums at the very least. Yeah, and then go from there. I think I'm going to leave this vlog here as the final clip, because this is the last time I'm going to be able to shoot a clip freely, so to speak. But I'll be back with a main camera video very soon, I think. But until next time, guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.